time I hear you whisper to me that you never would leave me be. I can feel my body echoing for you now.
Do you know what you do to me? It's like a fantasy, I wanna never leave. But isn't it a little funny that you're the one controlling me?
Beat-a-boo, 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 beat-a-boo. Warm up my mouth. Okay. Welcome back. Hi, Lily. Okay, you're allowed. The two boys led me back to the dining room where the smell of bacon and eggs danced in the air. Now, so wonderful. The smell waved from the kitchen and made its way into the room, making my stomach growl in need. Breakfast smells good. I wish I could smell it.
We should be done with breakfast soon. If you want to sit down at the table, you can.
I nodded before sitting down. As I sat down, however, in my mind drifted back to the dream I had. That feeling of hostility around me made my body shudder instinctively, even though I knew it wasn't real. Put my keyboard in my lap. There we go. However, my eyes closed, I felt a hand place itself atop my head, breaking me out of my thoughts.
Morning. You alright?
Morning, sunshine. Yep, cool. Sam, the owner of the hand on my head, raised an eyebrow at me before rustling his hair and moving away to sit down at the table. He then barked towards the kitchen where James was working.
Hey! Is the food done yet? I'm starving!
He can snap just like that.
There's no need to yell, Sam!
You're yelling too!
Don't argue with me!
Oh, somebody's happy. From behind me, Eric appeared and sat beside me, rubbing his temples in obvious annoyance.
Can we not yell this early in the morning? It's not like we're in the castle.
Castle! For some reason, when I heard the word castle, I couldn't help but yell in surprise. These guys at a castle? Sam looked at me and smirked at my reaction.
Yeah, we have a castle back home. Our dining room's 10 times bigger than this room.
And wouldn't it be logical to not yell?
Whatever.
Easy, boys. Wait, where's Matthew? Soon James and Damien appeared, hands full of plates that carried bacon, eggs, toast, and waffles. They placed the plates down by each seat before sitting themselves.
My favorite.
Finally.
Thank you for the breakfast. It looks amazing.
It's our pleasure.
You turn the tables on me now, you trap me in your cage somehow. I can never escape from you, but baby, that's...
I do that on purpose. Yo!
Hey, good morning.
Too early for your voice.
Guess who's at your door right now?
Santa. Right in queue, there was a knock from the lobby door. My heart stopped. Susan and Naomi were here.
I'll get it.
No, Matthew! My heart quickly began to pound on my chest. Matthew was in the lobby, and he'd get to the door first. I instantly jumped out of my chair and rushed out of the dining room. As I passed through the archway between the dining room and the lobby, I saw Matthew reach his hand for the brass door handle, causing the whole world to go in slow motion. No, Matthew, don't! But before my words could reach his ears, Matthew had opened the door and revealed the surprised faces of Naomi and Suzu. The world around me stopped as Susan and Naomi kept their eyes on Matthew, who merely stared back in fear and embarrassment. I could feel the air go from warm to freezing in a matter of seconds.
Hi?
I could not believe what was happening. How was I going to explain this? This week had already been bad enough. To make matters worse, I was frozen in place. Please, for God's sake, someone do something other than stand there.
Who are you?
Let me explain. He's the pizza boy.
What's going on here?
Who's at the door, Matthew? Oh.
Soon the other incubi appeared in the lobby with us. The situation was not getting pretty. I had to think fast. Obviously not fast enough. I don't need the mouse, actually. Go away. Go away, mouse.
Then why did one of them open the door?
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
It was no use. There was no time to lie to them. I felt helpless. Then I felt a hand on my shoulder, and I felt the tension in my body almost fade away. I turned my head to see James smile at me before stepping in front of me.
We must apologize, ladies. We know the situation must be confusing for everyone. Let's take this to the dining room and we'll explain everything.
I stared at James wide-eyed. He was going to tell them who they were. Everything seemed surreal. Before I knew it, I was led to the dining room along with Suzu and Naomi sat across from their confused gazes. As Naomi and Suzu sat down, Eric and Matthew placed their untouched plates of food in front of them, surprising their guests.
Whoa, this looks amazing!
Thank you.
Our pleasure, ladies. We hope you enjoy your meals.
Something in my eyeball. There's always something in my eye.
Make sure you dig in.
Looked at Naomi and Suzu as they began to eat, visibly enjoying every bite they placed in their mouths. Hopefully the food would ease their minds for whatever James was about to reveal. As Naomi and Suzu ate their impromptu meals, James and the other boys stood behind my chair, making me grow more red in the face.
So, Anderson, are you gonna tell us what's going on?
Well, yeah. Gently, James placed a hand on my shoulder again, signaling for me to just eat my food. As I began to eat, he spoke to Naomi and Suzu.
We are Miss Anderson's house servants. We were hired by her late grandfather to help around the mansion, but since he has passed, we now assist Miss Anderson with living on her own.
That makes sense. It's such a huge house.
It makes sense.
A huge house for a wonderful princess such as Miss Anderson deserves the greatest of servants to care for it.
But why are you all dressed so casually and stuff? Aren't servants supposed to have uniforms or whatever?
Well, Miss Anderson allows us to get comfy while we work, so she lets us wear casual clothes.
Yeah, something like that.
Don't blow it.
We're sorry if we made this situation awkward earlier.
We're very sure that Miss Anderson is also still getting used to having us as her servants. It would be very hard to explain after just a day.
I guess.
So, if I may ask, what brings you two ladies here?
Well, we wanted to see how our friend was doing. Since it's the weekend and all, usually we hang out and just chill.
Yeah, like going to the arcade and stuff.
Or the Pink Lady Cafe.
Jeez.
There's an arcade?
Blocked everything out.
That makes a lot of sense, ladies. Well, we don't wish to disturb you any further than we have, so we'll take our leave and start preparing the house.
Huh? Preparing for what?
We gotta prep the house for some sort of housewarming party thing.
Housewarming party thing. You talk
Our
like me.
princess's parents requested a housewarming party to be held here soon.
Eric does kind of sound like Tamaki. By soon, they meant tonight.
Oh, well, I guess we can help out or something. Right, Naomi?
I thought you wanted to go to the arcade.
This housewarming thing is more important.
No need. We can handle it. If you'd like to, miss, you can go out with your friends while we handle things here.
Seriously?
Sam, not now.
Yeah, Sam. Even though, well, I wanted to help out, but at the same time I wanted to go with my friends. James gave me a look of understanding, letting me know that if I left, everything would be okay. I had to make a decision. I'll stay and help around the house.
Are you sure?
I'm sure. Besides, it's my housewarming party. I should help out too.
Want us to help out as well?
I think we got it taken care of. Thanks though, girls.
Alright, we'll head on out then so we're not in the way.
Alright, I'll hang out with you guys soon.
It's all good, Anderson. We'll definitely come to the housewarming party tonight.
Ugh. Thanks. I led them back to the lobby and walked them to the doors, opening it for them with a thankful smile. They both gave me hugs before walking out to Naomi's car, which was parked in the driveway. And with that, they left. I was happy that they wanted to help, but I had to do this on my own. It was not their work, so I didn't want to force it onto them, just because they were my best friends. Boys. We had the entire day to work. The party was tonight, and we had to do all that we could to make everything right. We sat down and talked about what needed to happen before the party started that night. Each guy had been assigned a different part of the party to do, and right after lunch we began to work. Right after lunch. Since everything was taken care of by at least one of the incubi, whatever. James told me I could assist one of them. The question was who? Eric with the dining room. Eric with the dining room, Matthew with the cooking, Sam with the front yard, James with the garden, Damien with the lobby, Sam with the front yard. I walked out to the front yard to see Sam, not cleaning, but doing slow motions with his hands and his arms. He was doing Tai Chi, form of martial arts I had previously learned aside from Taekwondo. However, he wasn't cleaning, which made me cross my arms and glare at him. Aren't we supposed to be cleaning the front yard?
You were taking too long. I already finished cleaning.
Bruh! Show off. I looked around the front. I looked around the front and noticed that the windows were polished and the weeds were pulled and tossed out from the sidewalk. The lamps were wiped down and the stairs were swept. He really did finish cleaning. We literally disbanded a mere minute ago, though. Wow, you work fast. Sam didn't respond but kept his eyes closed and continued to do his Tai Chi. For a guy who wanted to be a badass, I could have imagined him doing hard workouts or karate moves for practice. Tai Chi was not what I expected out of him. I stood there wondering what to do. Dude, join him. What? Let's do a Tai Chi! Woo! I remained quiet as I stood beside him and began to move along with his movements. He was going slow, so it was easy to follow along.
What are you doing?
Helping. What does it look like I'm doing?
This isn't supposed to be fun, okay? It's actually supposed to be difficult.
Mm-hmm. I know. Sam opened an eye to look at me without breaking his emotions before closing it and continuing. I followed along flawlessly, keeping to his speed. It was very relaxing until I managed to trip over my feet and land on Sam. Wow! The hell that...
Hey! Watch it!
Bruh, that escalated like from 0 to 100 awful quickly. Sorry, bruh. I landed on top of Sam, staring eye-to-eye. That's such an anime thing to happen. Staring eye-to-eye with him, Sam and I couldn't stop blushing, nor did either of us move from the ground. I could hear my heart pounding against my chest. Like, ah. Sam didn't move a muscle, but just stared up at me in embarrassment. I eventually moved off of him and brushed myself off with a large blush on my face. Sam sat up and rubbed his head.
Man, watch where you're going next time.
It's hard to when you have your eyes closed. I nodded. He stood up and looked at me for a moment. I could see in his eyes that he was concerned if I was okay, but he refused to ask. I smiled before walking back into the house. I heard him sigh before I walked out of earshot. That's it? No deep talk? No, hey, how you doing? No anything? Damn, now I gotta use my mouse because I'm gonna be clicking like a bastard. The hour of the house party had arrived. In my mind, I kept double and triple checking the essentials for the party. Knowing my dad, he invited his business partners and the executive of the Anderson Company to show me off. I stood in front of the mirror in my room, staring at the... We know this. Yeah, we know this. Yeah, we're pretty. We look amazing. Yes, I know. And they look snazzy, too. Yeah, they were great. Yeah.
So, are you prepared for tonight?
That's always my answer. I couldn't deny that I was nervous, but I had to try. This party was more than what it seemed, and I had done all that I could prepare for it. Now it was all up to fate. The other boys smiled assuringly at me, which made me feel a little better about everything. Looked at my phone, marked the time. Almost right on cue, the doorbell rang, and I gulped. I could practically feel my dad's aurora from behind the door. What is it? I don't know why, but Eric always has that disapproving look. Does he have his hand in his pocket? Yes, he does. Sam and Eric quickly rushed to the door and opened the double doors wide to reveal my parents, both dressed to their best. Hey! You loving parents, you.
Oh my! I didn't know your bequeathment came with servants.
It was probably overlooked. Besides, who would deny good service?
I was completely shocked. My parents didn't question the boys. They didn't ask for verification or anything. I looked to the boys and noticed Sam and Eric staring intently at my parents. Were they using the powers on them? Maybe. They had to be. There was no way they'd be okay with it otherwise.
I guess the servants counted as belongings to the house.
Sure. My mother quickly rushed to me and gave me a large hug. I hugged her back, inhaling her perfume. It only been a couple of days, but living away from the ones who raised me was hard. My mother soon let me go and looked at my outfit.
Gorgeous! You look so lovely. David, look at your daughter and tell her I'm right.
Yeah, look at me, Daddy. Don't be so mean. Tell me a pity. That sounded more bad than I was trying to make it. I was trying to make it sound sad, but it sounded worse. Why is my dog whining so much? Shut up. Looked to my dad, who was looking around the lobby. Stop rubbing yourself up against me. Like an inspector, I stood my ground and waited for him to look at me. When he did, I let a small smile grace his... He
Your
let a
mother's
small smile,
right.
whatever.
You look like you're all grown up.
Hey, Mutt. Hi. The world around me stopped as my heart pounded hard in my chest. Did my dad just compliment me? On his own accord, my mother was grinning ear to ear with his words. I was beyond speechless. Thanks! However, his cold face quickly returned as he began to look around once again.
I assume that you're ready, then, to impress the rest of the guests, correct?
What?
The entire board from Anderson Toys is coming tonight. Even the vice chairman's son will be coming. All of them will be measuring your potential.
Hey, potential?
Should become CEO of the company.
I knew it. Something was off about tonight, and now this party had become much more than I anticipated. I gulped silently, but I nodded in response. I looked at the incubi, but they were continuing to be servants for my father's approval. I looked behind me and saw Naomi and Suzu raise their thumbs at me for encouragement, let out a small breath before feeling my body accept the situation. I felt a weight in my gut, but I had to hide it. As if time zoomed forward all of a sudden. Wow, I gotta sneeze again. Ah! Don't sneeze. All of a sudden, the main hall of the lobby was full of guests, men and women in formal business attire showed up to meet me and see my new home. I didn't expect many to come, but I was once again surprised that night. I shook hands with many officials and executive members, putting on a professional face, as my dad trained me to have. I felt overwhelmed, but I hid well behind a smile and a handshake. Many even asked me questions, trying my best to reply as maturely as possible, but I had to remember, say what they want to hear, not what you want to say.
So, how do you feel living on your own at such a young age?
I'm so sorry about your grandfather passing away. It really hit all of us hard.
Do you have college plans?
I feel like the questions came up one after another. It was tough to answer some of them because they weren't about me, they're about the company.
What do you think will happen with the company now that your grandfather has passed?
What do you think of the philanthropic policy the company has?
Do you think the company should expand from just toys?
Eventually the questions stopped and I was back to being myself. Hold on, there was tissue behind my computer and I needed it. And I was back to being myself. Naomi and Suzu were mingling in the crowds and the incubi, there we go, were doing their job, so I was all in a room full of strangers. It was unnerving to think about, but at least I wasn't being questioned left and right anymore. Suddenly, though, my mom pushed away through the crowd to me, bringing along someone I didn't know.
Honey, I'd like to introduce you to someone. This kind gentleman is the son of the vice chairman.
He just looks so derpy. With my mother stood a man who looked a couple years older than me. He smiled and held out his hand to me, silently asking for my hand.
Hi, I'm Andrew Lewis. It's a pleasure to meet you, Miss Anderson.
I'll just be nice, I don't care. As I placed my hand in his, he raised it to his lips and kissed over my knuckles. Felt my face burn slightly at the gesture. Andrew smiled at me before releasing my hand.
I'm honored to be invited here.
Oh, Enter does that too, okay. My mother smiled at both of us, which made me slightly concerned. Why was she excited to introduce me to Andrew?
So, you organized this party very well, Miss Anderson.
Thanks, bro.
You're welcome. Praise is very much deserved.
Andrew then chuckled nervously, bringing a soft fist to his lips to cover his laugh properly before smiling at me.
I'm sorry if I seem a little forward. I've just been excited to meet Harold Anderson's granddaughter.
You fakey poo. Why?
He used to talk about you all the time in the office on how you helped him refine his toys. I only attended meetings and heard all of the stories. You've helped a lot with the success of the company without having to actually work there.
No, I didn't know he talked about me. That would explain everyone's fascination with me and their rather personal questions. I looked at Andrew, who had a kind face to me. Something about him seemed off, and I didn't know what it was. He seemed to be hiding something, whether it was good or bad, I was not able to find out. I felt someone walk up beside me, causing me to turn to them. Next to me was my dad, giving his cold stare to Andrew, who suddenly became tense.
So, you're Jared's son.
So! I'm judging you. Andrew's body twitched slightly, whether it was fear or insult. Andrew locked eyes with my father. I couldn't help but feel the tension between them. It irked me how fragile the air had become, enough to break at the wrong word.
You're the one who wants to be the next CEO of the Anderson Company.
Well...
I stared at Andrew. This guy wanted to take my grandfather's place as CEO. Thought the vice chairman wanted that position.
David, leave the poor boy alone.
I'm merely testing the boy's conversational skills. Nothing wrong with that.
Of course not, sir.
And polite as well. Interesting.
If you'll excuse me.
Quickly, Andrew retreated away from my family into the crowd of people. No, stay put. No. Stay. I watched as he disappeared into the crowd towards the back of the house. I was worried, but I gave him his space. He obviously needed it.
He's not CEO material.
You're just scary.
That's because you practically interrogated the young man.
A little questioning shouldn't have bothered him. He's obviously not ready for any title in our company.
I bit my tongue. I didn't want to make a scene with my dad. One wrong word and he'd lecture me in front of everyone. That was not something that I wanted at my housewarming party. I let out a sigh before looking at the clock. It was getting close to midnight, meaning that the party was going to end soon. Lowered my gaze out the window and saw a limo pull up. Whose limo was that? Who's that?
Oh, that must be Lewis's car.
I'll go get him. Stay with your father so you can escort your guests out together.
Okay. My mother left my dad and me to slowly escort the guests out. Jeez, that always gets me. That always messes me up for some reason. My dad held a simple smile as he thanked each person for coming. I did the same. Andrew quickly passed the door before I could speak. Eventually, only Susan and I, my parents, and the incubator were left. My dad suddenly walked over and placed a hand on my shoulder with a smile. I stared up at him, and a wave of confusion washing over my face. What?
You did good tonight. I'm proud.
Oh, having a heart attack. He complimented me again. Oh, thank you.
Keep it up, and you'll be a good CEO.
Oh, yeah, right.
All right. Your mother and I have to leave. I'm sure Naomi and Suzu need to leave as well. Just because it's Saturday doesn't mean you should stay up all night.
But it's already midnight. Right.
Thanks for having us. It was a great party.
We'll come visit tomorrow or something. All right?
Right, see ya.
Good night, sweetie. Come visit us soon.
Will do. All 4 remaining guests left the building, all but my dad waving back to me. With the last of the guests gone, I sighed and sat on the staircase exhausted. That was tiring.
It's not like you had to do any work, though.
Shut up, Sam.
Give her a break, man. She was getting interrogated left and right.
She handled herself the best she could.
As expected, Princess.
Since you're exhausted, why not head to bed? We can clean up.
Get over it, Sam!
Hush, Sam.
You guys sure?
Positive. It shouldn't take long. Ho ho ho!
Oh, right.
Take long to find you little shits after all.
I felt a hot shudder run down my spine. The voice from my dreams echoed through the air into my dreams, into my ears. Wow. I don't know what happened. I looked around panic alongside the incubi. James placed a hand on my shoulder trying to remain calm.
Don't worry. No one will hurt you.
Are you sure? Are you really sure?
Really sure? All of us shot our heads toward the door, finally pinning down the direction of the voice. The door quickly swung open, revealing a sight that would never be expected to see. Oh my gosh, he's red and stuff. Skin red as blood, eyes black and gold piercing into mine. Roughed up clothes and a pistol in hand, I saw a monster. Then his bitch.
Oh, what's the matter, boys? You really didn't think I wouldn't find you, did you?
I hoped you would, you piece of...
All of a sudden, the man raised a gun to Sam's face and instantly pulled the trigger. Rest in peace, Sam. We all gasped in shock, instinctively expecting to see a bullet run through Sam's face, but...
What? What the fuck?
What?
What should have been a headshot ended in a loud but empty blank shot. The pistol echoed its empty shot as the man grew more and more pissed, pulling the trigger over and over in aggravation. Luckily for my ears, became quieter after its first shot.
Why the fuck won't you work?
This place is protected.
What did you say, shrimp?
He's not short,
This
really.
place has a seal, protecting it from hellborn magic.
What the fuck is...
Oopsie, sorry, didn't mean to do that. I was moving. Oh gosh. Sorry. The man growled and threw his gun at Sam, who was able to dodge it in time. The pistol bounced off the ground a couple of times before sliding further away, hitting the wall at a final stop. As it stopped moving, the gun faded into black flames and disappeared into the air.
The previous owner had this place protected by magic, Malick.
Malick, that was his name. His existence resonated in my memory from the dream I had. However, I looked over to Matthew in the same confusion as Knox did. This place protected by what?
It would seem that your grandfather had some sort of protective barrier around this house. From the looks of it, it only disables hellborn magic.
Malick's face grew to that of extreme anger, his fists tightening as if he was crushing a stress ball.
What's stopping me from dragging your asses out and shooting you then?
Out of pure instinct, I stepped forward and placed myself between Malick and the boys. With no power, Malick wasn't going to fight. I took the chance to stand up to him instead of being powerless like I was in the dream. Yeah, Malick suddenly laughed wildly, staring at me in disbelief.
Whoa! Who let the bitch out of her cage? What is this? A reverse harem or something?
Sorry, I shouldn't be laughing at that. I don't like you. I'm sorry. Malick grinned at me evilly, walking close to me. Duck! I ducked underneath Malick's incoming hand. I stared at his hand as his black flame tattooed in surprise. I took a couple steps back from Malick's. Matthew and Damien stepped in front of me, guarding me from Malick's with their arms.
A quick one. I'm liking you more and more.
Back off, Malick!
Don't start acting tough, you pathetic excuse of a demon. You need more protection than her.
Matthew just looks confused like I do.
Shut up!
Oh, did I make the little Matthew cry?
Don't be so mean to Matthew.
Why don't you just grow a pair?
Don't you dare talk about him like that.
Enough, Malick.
Thank you. So I like her. Oddly enough, I like her. The woman who had been standing in silence the whole time planted a firm hand on Malick's shoulder. Malick looked back with her with a growl. Glad that I could kill.
Since when did you get the guts to speak out of place?
I like her. Shut up.
We both know you've never controlled me. I want them dead just like you two. But now's not the time.
Fuck off. I know what I'm doing.
Fuck off.
Do you? Even if you did fight them, there's 5 against 2. We never win.
Shut up!
Let's go, Malick! We're wasting our time!
The two growled at each other. If they could have used their magic, I could sense the fire would glow from underneath their teeth. Malick grunted and glared at the boys. He pointed at James, wanting so badly to use his finger like a knife.
Just wait, pretty boys. We'll get you and fuck you up real good.
I wish I could laugh like that. Then Malick turned to me, moving his finger to point directly between my eyes.
Don't think you're safe. Step outside. I dare you.
Again, I wish I could laugh like that. With that, Malick and the woman walked out of the mansion. The doors closed behind them, leaving the boys and I alone once again. I felt my knees give up from under me, forcing the boys to quickly turn to catch me. Hi!
Whoa! Are you alright?
No, he talked about Matthew in such a mean way. Yep. Why?
He's been closely tracking us. Our blood trail from the forest must have led him here.
Good job, Damien.
Should have stopped him and finished it here.
For once, Matthew, I agree with you.
I stood up and rubbed my arms, feeling the goosebumps Malick left on me. I couldn't stop myself from shivering in the fear of his words. He was a demon?
That son of a bitch is not a demon. He's a devil.
Devil. There's a difference?
Yes. Demons come from a different plane of existence called the Abyssal Planes. Devils, however, come from one of the 7 circles of a place humans know. It's hell. Despite us not being human, we are very different creatures.
We actually have brains, for one. Devils always like to cause trouble and try to kill or torture others for their own enjoyment. Demons, like us, know when to use our powers and when not to. We're not stupid.
Devils follow orders from higher-ups in their order, and their power only comes from their connection to hell. Demons all have free wills and don't rely on where they came from to use their powers.
It's also confusing. Demons and devils and magic all existed. I happened to land in the middle of it. So what do we do?
You're safe. You've been protected as well.
You just know everything, don't you, Damien? You just know everything! What?
What Damien's saying is that the magic that protects this place also protects you.
Your grandfather must have cast it when you last saw him or something of that nature. We can sense its aura around your body.
Shut up, Damien. I couldn't believe my ears. It was the 3rd day of surprises, and this one took the cake and being the most surprising. Felt my head spin once again. What'd I get myself into?
Miss, please don't worry. We'll find a way to train ourselves and become stronger to finally finish this feud.
Ah, my legs. I need a bigger chair.
Kick his ass right now.
Until then, we'll protect you as much as we can. If Malick comes back, we'll be here for you.
What about going outside, won't he?
Like we said, you have a protection spell on you. Even if Malick attacks you, he won't be able to use his magic on you. He'd be just like any other human you can fight back against.
Didn't you say you knew Taekwondo?
Yeah. I felt somewhat relieved that I was mostly safe from Alex. Still, I could not help but feel very nervous and apprehensive about the future. The boys were safe here to train and become stronger, but what if not the same? Even more so, I was so lost about how my grandfather knew about magic. I had to find it out. At least I had time. I went to bed that night feeling nervous. Despite the words at the incubi, I felt like a target or something that I'd never be able to explain to prove. Magic, devils, demons. How did this all even happen? Should I really meddle with the situation? They're only staying until they defeat Malick's. That's right. They said they only stayed until after they defeated Malick's. After that, my life could go back to normal. Temporary insanity, as Kay would say. Oh! That girl. Don't know her yet. The question was then. The question was then, what would I want them to leave? Jeez, I can't even talk. If my life went back to normal, then I'd have to care for the house all on my own. I'd get to focus on my life instead of being distracted by the boys. I'd have to. My life is boring. Where's my life going anyway? I was under pressure from my parents with only my friends and the boys to comfort me. Without the boys, I'd have no way to hide from my responsibilities. Enough, let's just sleep and deal with it tomorrow when it comes. Defeating my senses of thought, I forced myself to sleep, unsure of what tomorrow had planned for me. Hopefully whatever the future had for me, I would be ready for it.
I promise to be with you forever. You're so important to me.
I swear I'll give my life to you.
Please, let me love you.
I'll be by your side, always.
I can't imagine living without you.
Oh, I love you, Matthew.
I want to be with you.
I love you.
That was Andrew, right? I slowly opened my eyes, letting the voices of my dream echo in my head, and forced me awake. I rubbed my eyes before sitting up and looking at my clock. 7 a.m. Why? It's so early. I fell back in my bed and closed my eyes, trying to get back to sleep. However, something kept me awake. Why? It's too early to be alive. I gave up and sat up, staring at the fireplace across my bed. A sigh escaped from between my lips before I threw my legs over the side of the bed. What to do at 7 a.m. in the morning? Let's explore. I decided it was a good idea to wander around the house. I never really explored it much as a child, so there was bound to be new surprises. Well, come on, feet! Let's go on an adventure! I stood and exited the room, hoping that the boys were still asleep, and began to wander the halls of the end of my house, opening each door to find what room each door led to. Oh, we've been through this before, and we're not supposed to try it. Oh, there we go. No, we're not snooping. I returned to my bed, feeling the weight of the morning drag me under my covers to try and sleep again. I had energy, but I wanted more sleep. It was Sunday, and nothing was happening today. Come on, eyes, go back to sleep. Shut my eyes and tried to slow my breathing. Looked at my phone to check the time once again. It was noon, yet it felt like I had slept for much longer. Time was going so slowly. I sighed. I got and changed normal clothes and went out to the main hall and sat on the stairs. It was very boring. The muffled sound of battle caught my attention. Quickly went to the backyard. We're just gonna ignore them. Yeah, don't disturb them. Watched the boys and we went to the kitchen. Lunch! Just gonna go make lunch. Decided to let's make pizza this time. I had pizza for dinner today. Pizza was always good no matter what time of day it was. Do we have any? Luckily we had some pizza in the freezer to heat up. Pizza animals! Baked with love pizza! Had all the makings of pizza types including pepperoni, sausage, mushrooms, extra cheese. Just top it, bake it, and serve it. I'd have to get more later. Placed the food in the dining room, however none of the boys were there by the time I brought the final dish out. Carried the dish to the main lobby, catching the boys separating in different rooms of the house. Part of me wanted to go in one in particular. The other part of me wanted to just leave them be and take the food in my hand to my room. Neat, maybe I could go out today while the boys focusing on training. Hopefully we'll find Sam. Quickly rushed back and grabbed a second food dish before hunting down one of the boys. Sam! The boys, I wouldn't have to go to each and every room. Where the heck are they? I made sure my opening door feet. Ah!
Whoa! What the?
We found him! I quickly stepped back, regained my balance on my feet. Did we drop the pizza? Oh, dog sneezed. With the food in my hands, the last thing I wanted was the food on the floor. I shook my head and looked up to see Sam looking at me from behind the door in surprise. Did he hit us with the door? Being that I only saw his face, he was wet, so I assumed that the door led to the bathroom he was exiting from.
Oh, crap.
Did you hit me with the door? Yeah, I brought you food. Hit me with the door. What the hell? Why did I say that? I shook my head and acted like I knew what I said. Sam raised an eyebrow for looking to the food I brought.
Oh, hey. Thanks.
I'm just gonna go with he hit me with the door. Oh, hey. Well, that's always nice. That's nice. Sam stepped out from behind the bathroom door and closed it. I was suddenly face to face with a shirtless and frustrating Sam. The simple towel was hanging over his shoulders. No, it's not. And he looked at me. I remained frozen, able to tear my ass from the side. Oh my gosh. Damn, he was ripped.
Hey, you alright? Hello?
Damn, you're ripped. How about I hate your sex though. Sam let us sly smirk appear on his lips before tapping my forehead with his finger. It was light, but I still felt pressure from I'm sorry, I'm just lost. From it to push me back a bit on my feet.
You gonna give me my food, or do you plan to keep staring into space like a nut job?
Oh, right, here. Pizza. Damn, he's ripped. A cookie gave Sam his food, glaring at him. He chuckled before quickly dropping to the floor and really? Put some clothes on. Crossing his leg to sit, I did a double take down at him before joining him to eat. I was hungry, so I might as well. Sam must have been hungry because he practically scarfed all his food down before I could get 2 bites out of mine. Jeez, we fast.
Oh, sorry. It was good, yeah.
Thanks. Sam sat in silence waiting for me to finish. It was odd. It was not far from having a dog watch you while you ate. Nevertheless, I finished my food quicker than normally. Than I normally did. I looked to Sam, who was somehow got a shirt and vest on while I wasn't looking. Damn, he was also fast!
Alright then, I'm heading up to the roof.
Why? Roof? I was saying it, why? But, what's wrong with this girl? Have a what? The roof?
Yeah. Wanna come with?
I'm sorry. Have a what? Hold on, you wanted me to join him? On the roof? The roof of a huge mansion? Why?
I promise you won't fall, or whatever. Okay?
Or whatever. Okay. I didn't know why I was up for this, but I said okay. The small, adventurous side of me was very happy with my decision, but the other side of me was screaming at me, asking me why I did that. He's gonna push me, isn't he? Sam took the empty dish and placed them on a nearby stand before walking to a nearby window and looking at me. Wait, a window?
Come on.
What are we doing? Wait, what are we doing? I walked towards Sam, unsure of what he wanted to do. As I stepped to his side, he wrapped a tight arm around my waist and hugged me against his side. Oh!
Hold on tight.
Wait, what? I instantly wrapped my arm around Sam as he opened the window and stepped on the ledge. I could feel him tighten his grip on me as he looked up and grabbed the end of the roof of his roof. Whoa! What an adventure! I gripped tightly to him as he... How are we gonna have sex on here? How are we gonna do it on our roof? This one of us will just roll down the side. I gripped tightly to him as he somehow was able... I'm lost. Was able to pull both of us up to the roof. With that one hand, he lifted me to the roof first before pulling himself up and sitting with a content sigh.
See? I told you I wouldn't let you fall.
Dude, why are we here? They're all slanted. Yeah. I sat up beside him, trying to shake off what happened. He was a demon. I had to remember that. Not matter how human he looked.
Pretty sight, huh?
Actually, yes. Raised an eyebrow before looking ahead. I gasped. The sight was truly beautiful. The estate was settled up on a high hill, so the view I saw made me feel like I was flying. I could see Chicago in the distance. Oh, so we're in Chicago. That's nice. Surrounded by forests and suburbs, like the one I resided in. Something about the sight took my breath away. I silently thanked my adventurous side for taking the risk to come up here.
You know, it's things like this that make the human world worth coming to.
We're getting deep with Sam. This is new. I turned to Sam. At his statement, unsure of what he meant. He kept his eyes to the view, but I could see his very soft amazement in his eyes. What do you mean?
I'm not like my brothers. I didn't come to get away from anything or to fulfill something. Whatever they may tell you their reasons were. I came because, well, they're my brothers. And that's that. However, I didn't expect the human world to be so pretty.
I didn't understand. The brothers were running from something more than just Malick's. What could have possibly driven them from where they were? You all ran from something?
We all had our reasons for leaving the Abyssal Plains. James didn't want to deal with his problems. Matthew wanted to live with humans more than demons. I came because I didn't want to be without my brothers. So I left with them.
And Damien and Eric? That's rather sweet if you think about it.
It doesn't matter. I came, so here I am.
I frowned and bit my lip slightly. I wasn't sure if he wanted to be here with how he was answering. Still, I felt a small wave of confidence drive me to scoot closer to Sam. I want to try to be friends. Let's be friends and force love onto him! Yeah! Fate didn't like that. Apparently, I found myself losing my balance and wound up starting to— Damn it, Sexto! Squee!
Whoa!
To the roof! To the roof! To the floor! To the— shit! To the ground! There we go! Instantly, Sam grabbed me and pulled me to him. He wrapped his arm around me, making sure I wasn't able to fall back down to the roof, but that wasn't what made me blush wildly from ear to ear. I had somehow landed and straddled over a step. How does this happen? The game's name Seduce Me. What else am I expecting? He was hugging me close to his chest. It was almost like a romance scene in a love story. Oh, better than Twilight. I couldn't tear my eyes away from Sam as he stared up at me concerned.
I gotcha. You okay?
You know, it was your idea to come to the roof. I don't know why. Yeah. Great. However, I continued to look down at him as he stared up at me. Neither of us knew what to do. I could feel that we were both lost in the fact. As we looked at each other, Sam's face grew slightly red.
Hey, I might as well say it now, but sorry for being a dick when we met.
You're a dick altogether. What? I must have been dreaming. Sam was being sincere. Why? However, I stared. I could feel his strength weaken. He was shaking, but continued to hold me to keep me safe from falling. Do you need energy? No! Not on the roof, guys! Not on the roof. We already fell off just by scooting our boot! Sam's eyes widened before he looked away, refusing to answer, but refusing to let me go. I didn't feel an energy drain, so he wasn't trying to take advantage of the situation. That was it. He needed energy, but should I give it? Just kiss the boy. I'm trying to think of the song from The Little Mermaid. I gently grabbed Sam's face and tilted his head to an angle with mine. Leaning in closer to him, I brought my lips to his and kissed him deeply. I didn't know if this would help, but it was how he got energy before. I shut my eyes, waiting for him to for the draining feeling to reappear in my body. Sam didn't move, nor did I feel energy drain from me. I opened my eyes, and Sam was staring wide-eyed at me, but unmoving. He wasn't sure of what to do, and I had silenced him with confusion. I don't know why, but I felt both irritation and accomplished at the question and at the look he was giving me. Where was his flirting? Where was his cocky smirk? From what I remember, he took advantage of me when we met, yet now he was somehow intimidated by me. Pulled away and spoke. If you want... sorry, I read that wrong. I want to give you some of my energy. If you use all of it, I'm sure that the energy you took from me would only be used for healing. Let me help you.
I mean, I don't...
What? Sam, if you don't want my energy, just tell me. But I'm offering it to you if you do. All of a sudden, I felt the familiar feeling of warmth. My body, once again, I felt my body slightly heated up as Sam pulled my body tighter to his and regained his stoic gaze before. Hey!
You offered it.
Ooh, I like how Sam looks. Look at his eyes. Whatever. Yeah, I offered. I'm gonna end it here on a cliffhanger. Ain't that great? I'll see you guys next time. Where's my stop record button? Ah!